I want Ghislaine Maxwell to be happy. I want her out so she can start her frozen, yogurt franchise she's been talking about, Hot for Tots. I want that, which is kind of funny because it's like a non sequitur. Hot for Tots, what does that have to do with a yogurt? And then you think about it more. Oh, it's interesting. So, like the ice cream kids and sexual deviance. That's all interesting. And I don't necessarily think the girls in this case are like always like universally just victims. Like when you're 16 years old and someone offers you $300-$500 to massage someone and then you're okay with the sex, it's not like he's like physically holding them down. They might be poor, and the predatory nature is the fact that they're poor girls from a oppressed background, so to speak, like I don't know, like West Palm Beach, like lower middle class, whatever, something like that. And they're like, I could use $500 to buy an iPhone, and they take the money and they give a blowjob, and that's it. It's not the same when you're 16 as it is when you're like 12 or 10. Ebenophile, EBNE file thing, that's not the same as pedophile. I think there's a conflation there, but it's also this weird proxy thing. It's like this guy commits suicide or gets killed or he's currently in Belize right now. I'm not going to say anything. It's private. I may know something, I may not. It's not the point. I don't want to be taken away. I wanted to keep doing the podcast. I don't need men to show up and say, Ben, we need you to come with us. I don't want that. So I'm not going to talk about it, but I have my suspicions. And, this woman, lovely tits she has. I love her tits. They're just, you can tell they're like the ski slope, like, hey, you guys want to go on some triple blacks? They go down really deep and they come out with some volume. Those are the teardrop. It's lovely. And, great taste in the tits there, Jeff. So funny. No, see, it threw you there. Which one? I don't know. And, she's like dealing with people who also like have taken their statements from police from years ago, and then all of a sudden she's a fixture in the statements now. Like she's like, there's like complete reversals of statements. You can be a victim as a young woman, statutorily speaking. You can be a victim of statutory rape, but still have had the self-autonomy and the conscience to know what you're doing, and then take advantage of that situation for monetary stuff as an adult, which is what is possible now. Oh, I have a chance to make money from some victims fund or from Epstein's estate or from this woman, even though technically she doesn't have any money, but maybe Epstein gave her some money, so now she has money, now you can sue her. I don't know. Unclear. It's probably in a trust and it's not like visible, but I digress. She seems to be in good spirits. Last time I talked to her on the phone, you have a 1-800 number from, I was like, oh my, press one. I was like, hello. And she's like, oh my God. It's just, I hate these people. I'm like, who do you hate? It's like, she's like, the blacks. I'm like, oh my gosh, bad. Stop. This is recorded. You can't talk like that. So, she's confused. She's not living her best life. I want her to live her best life. I want her to be happy, and we'll see what happens. The fence rest didn't take the stand. I don't know what to think of these things. These are complicated matters. All my girlfriends made me watch Law & Order SVU over and over again. Dick Wolf was like raping my head. I know how rough it is. Like to be labeled this, it's like you're almost like guilty regardless. Like the Duke lacrosse players. Like, oh, don't you remember the woman's line? Oh, I just remember your name and rape, and that's just boom. It's really hard to get away from those allegations because it's an egregious thing. Like, who would lie about something like that? It's like, I don't know, but like if that's your only card you have to play in life is to lie about a rape for millions of dollars, wouldn't you play it? You don't hold pocket aces with like 2 aces on the turn and then fold. You use them. It's like, what are the odds of that? Well, it's low odds, but like, you still got to play the cards, right? So it's like, of course people lie about things like this all the time. Of course people can be statutorial rape victims and be 17 years old, but in another state it would have been legal, and then sue and say they were victims and then still taking money. Of course you can be Weinstein and have relationships with women where you pay them money, get them roles, and then later on, 10 years later, they say it was rape because once again, they're trying to do something for the best for their life, for their career, post-career even. Like they're not in the movies anymore, they're 35, they can't get roles. Their next card, their aces in the hole is to sue, to say Jeff Rees is disgusting white man, to appease a narrative that was directly parallel to Trump being an evil white man, and to throw this thing around. It was like Weinstein and Trump, like two fat, gross kind of like white guys, right? That was kind of the parallel. And like this, so I'm just saying, like I believe women in many cases, but I also believe women can be victims and also be kind of like taking advantage of the position. So, It's like they're not. It's men. It doesn't work as well. It's like, oh, that's pathetic. But for women, to be, like, oh, I've been taken advantage of. It's their way of power. The woman's power. I used to say to people all the time, like, you don't whine your way to the throne. No one does that. You don't say, hey, this is unfair. Hey, patriarchy. And then you get to the top. That'll never happen. Because you really have to fight. It has to be more physical, more proactive, and like less victim-like. But if for money and certain like levels of steps you can climb up in your life, playing the victim card can get you places very well. And men playing the victim card, not so much. It looks far weaker. Fired unjustly. They say for cause. They find out through memos that they lied, and the company's board turned against you or something like that. Something like that maybe, but not like I'm just a weak man and I was taken advantage of. That's like Disclosure with Michael Douglas and Demi Moore. It's like, no one's gonna believe she raped him. Like, that was crap. It was the power dynamic, right? She's the one with power. He's the man, but she was the boss. But still people became sexist. Yeah, but he's a man. How could that possibly be? So it's like these little things. Don't get confused by it. There's different roles and there's different circumstances all the time. And I dare say that the circumstances surrounding this trial are very, very strange. Very, very strange. The idea that Ghislaine Maxwell is going to go to jail for the rest of her life based off of some testimony from years ago, like 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, someone said, oh, she was there and smiled at me when I went into Jeffrey's bedroom, and then that means that she's a madam to this sexual predator. It's kind of like the door was open. Could you have? Yes, but I was a poor girl. It's a weird proxy thing. It's like, what did she do? She knew you were there and knew that you were 15. What is she supposed to do? Call the police? It's just like, what, you walked to the house on your own to take money, and then, you know what I mean? Again, they're not 10-year-old girls. They're kind of know what they're idiots. All young people are, men and women, but they're not necessarily completely they're not babies. They're not sacrificial lambs like burning babies at an altar to Moloch the owl god type shit. It's like, you're 16, you need some money, you're from a poor area of Palm Beach, Florida, you want $600 to massage this guy, maybe fuck him. I could fuck my friend Bradley, but Bradley is living with his mom in his basement. But there's this guy who has a house in an island. Again, victim, but also, gaming, thinking I could use that money to pay for my next Pikachu or whatever, just a Teletubby. I don't know, something. My concussion, by the way, in case you're wondering, still a little weird, in case you can tell from the way this conversation is going, but it's getting better. I see it's a day by day thing. So we're getting there.